guys, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be making another high-end dupe that I'm super excited about. We are going to be making a faux tree that is inspired by and very similar to this Studio McGee faux Japanese tree that is priced at $650. We're going to be making this for less than 20 bucks. It's going to be so simple. You're going to use a lot of things that you already have like we usually do, and it's going to end up with a really beautiful result. Before we jump into it, you may have noticed that I did in fact color my hair a bit darker. I just did this. I'm very happy with it. I have been wanting to go to a dark brown. My natural hair color is dark brown. I wanted to get closer to my hair color but with a bit more depth. So my hair color is slightly lighter than this, but I really wanted that chocolatey brown with some caramel highlights. So this is the new look. I hope that you love it as much as I do. And you may see a video from time to time where I am blonde. That's not because I dyed my hair blonde, that's because I recently shot some footage of some hauls that I did and some new flea markets that I ventured out to, and I wanted you guys to be able to see that content. I didn't want to have to not share that with you because my hair color changed. So if you see a video where I am blonde, just know that that was shot right before I colored it. I also have one ongoing project that I'm working on that's a really big makeover that's going to be coming out in probably a few weeks because I want to release it all at once to you guys, so I will be blonding part of that too. So just so you know, that is the reason why there is going to be a bit of a change in some of my videos, but this is the new look. So with that being said, if you're interested in seeing how to make a dupe for the Studio McGee faux Japanese tree, then make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see more of my videos. I put out new videos every single Sunday and we have a lot of really fun things coming up on the channel, so you don't want to miss it, and we are going to get right into it. The first thing that we're going to do is super simple. We are going to start by finding a pot for our plant to live in. So to do that, we're going to go outside to what I lovingly call my pot cemetery. This is where all of my plants that either didn't make it or got repotted or whatever it may be, their pots live there, and it is quite the graveyard. I have a lot of plants in my backyard. I'm frequently going through different pots, changing them out, planting them in the ground, all kinds of stuff. So we have a lot of pots out there that are extra from when they used to live in those previously. So we'll go out there, we're going to find a small pot and a larger pot. You could do this with just the larger pot. You could also do this with a nursery pot, but what we're going to do is take a stick, literally a stick from your yard, like from a tree or whatever, and we're going to cement it into the smaller pot so that we can place it inside the larger pot and hide it so that it looks like that stick is actually planted and rooted. I know that may sound a little bit confusing, but you'll see what I mean when we head outside and start working with our materials. Let's head outside and find us a couple of pots that we can use. Okay, so we're going to be looking for a small terracotta pot and then also a larger shaped pot that has a curve to it. So I want to stick closely to the inspiration picture and find kind of a U-shaped pot that we can paint to match the look and the vibe of the Studio McGee one. All right, so next we're going to mix up some cement. I'm using fast dry cement, and we are literally just going to pour it into our little terracotta pot with some water and mix it up, and then we can stick our stick in it and let that dry for probably a couple of days. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed this pot right here from outside. I think it's a really good shape. It has that curve to it. It does have a ridge up here, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Our inspiration picture also has some ribbing to it like this, like these little bumps. While this one doesn't have it going all the way down, I do think that this gives kind of a nod to that Studio McGee pot. This is what we're gonna work with. Our little terracotta pot fits perfectly in here, and then we'll be able to just hide that pot and cover it up with like some pretty moss or something like that. So I think this will work really well. The Studio McGee pot that we are trying to mimic is a tan pot. It's kind of just tan all over. At the bottom, it has some more brown tones kind of fading in. I went ahead and grabbed some sample wall paint that I had, and this is a Valspar paint in Freshly Baked. And then I also got 2 acrylic paints that I have. These are Liquitex Basics Acrylic in Burnt Umber, Master's Touch in Warm Gray. So I think these will give us the look that we're going for. So what we're gonna do is I cleaned this pot off already because it was quite dirty from being outside. We're gonna take our wall paint, paint the whole thing in this. We're gonna use our sponge to blend in our 2 browner tones in the acrylic paint. So let's start by just painting the whole thing in this tan. And I am going to mainly focus on the outside. You're not going to see the inside. We're going to have things kind of hiding that space. So if that's not matching the color that you're going for, it doesn't matter because no one will ever know. And because this is a faux plant, you're never going to have to water it or do any kind of maintenance for it. So it'll just stay in there. And I do want to use this for the studio. Next to my desk in our studio space, I had a real plant that I loved. It was beautiful. It was like a winter plant. I got it around Christmas time last year and it was doing so well. I was taking care of it. It was getting enough water, enough light. It was doing amazing. And then literally overnight, it just turned so crispy and I don't know. It was very upset with me. So I tried everything. I gave it less water, more light, put it outside, all the things. It was not having it. I have been unable to bring this thing back from the brink for months. So we're gonna put this faux plant in that spot. We're gonna put that one outside and maybe that'll do something for it. I don't know, but it is just not happy with what I'm doing. So we're gonna switch it up and put something that will make it in that space. And you may need a couple coats with this, especially if you have like a brighter color like mine coming through. And if you enjoyed this kind of video, definitely leave me a comment and let me know. And also let me know if there's any high-end products that you would like for me to try to recreate and make a dupe of, because I'm really enjoying doing these and I think they're super fun and they give us tools and methods to make high-end, really expensive products more attainable and able to be put into our homes. So I would love to do a few more of these or kind of just randomly do these mixed in with other videos. We do have some different things coming up on the channel. So if you don't enjoy these, don't worry. We are going to do other things as well. This isn't going to be like what we do for the next while. But yeah, just let me know what you guys are thinking so I know if you like these or not. I'm gonna let this dry. It'll probably dry pretty quickly and then we can put a second coat on and then add our browns. So here is what our little tree is looking like. Just put our cemented pot inside of the one that we painted. The one we painted has that like ombre brown to tan effect, just like our inspiration picture. And as you can see with our cemented one, it is not neat. It's not pretty. And actually the cement expanded and cracked the pot, so I glued it back together. But it really doesn't matter because it's going to be inside here and we're never going to see it. It's all good for it to be like that. If you have any issues like I did, we only have a couple of steps left that we need to do. We need to add our branches and then put like some moss or stones or something down in here so that you don't see the cemented pot inside and it looks like our fake tree is just planted in this pot. I have these little fake branches that I got off of Amazon. They came in a pack with 2 of these, and I'll link these for you guys in the description box if you're interested in using these, but there's lots out there. You can just pick the style of branch that appeals to you. They look like this, and we are not going to use this whole entire thing. We don't need this thicker part down here. We're going to cut the individual little branches off. And plan is to just make little drill holes randomly throughout where you want to have branches. We're literally just going to super glue these branches into our drill holes so that it looks like our stick is growing the branches. So it's a pretty simple process, and you can make it look as full or as minimal as you want. The faux Japanese tree that we're going for is a little bit more on the minimal side. It's not like a bushy tree. So I'm going to lean more towards that, and then any extra branches we have, we can save for future projects. I'm going to start at about like this point right here, so we do have some bare branch showing. Let's go ahead. I put a little drill bit into our drill, and we are going to start making some holes. So here's our little tree. I think it's super cute, and I think it looks a lot like the faux Japanese tree from Studio McGee that we were kind of basing this off of. And I think it's going to look really nice in the studio space to just kind of take up some space, but not pull from the lamp that we have in there, and also to like hide some of the outlets and things that are behind it. We're just going to finish this off by filling in the pot down here and adding some moss to make it look like this is a plant that's planted in this pot. I have our giant bin of bags that we get from grocery stores that we keep to reuse or recycle, and all we're going to do is stuff these all in there so that we can take up space in the pot to put our moss on top of and not have to use like tons and tons of moss to fill it up. So we're just going to do this and just stuff bags all around until we get to the top where we can put some moss. And this also keeps our pot from moving around because there's a smaller pot inside of a bigger pot, so this like stabilizes it too. Alright guys, and here is our faux Japanese tree all done. So we are going to go ahead and style it in the studio space.